With just a soft pencil and a ream of ordinary copier paper, you can discover or rediscover the delights of drawing in line and tone. First of all, we need to sharpen the pencil. I use a Stanley knife, and I have a soft drawing pencil here, so I must treat it with care. The knife is placed at an acute angle in order that I can take slithers off rather than great chunks and move it too strongly. And all I do is pull the pencil against the blade or push with the thumb, all on the left hand and not using the right hand at all. And then our pencil is ready to start drawing. It's a good idea to write down which pencil you're going to use so that you always remember which one it was that produced that variety of tones. And I'm going to start off with a series of tonal blocks. It's a 9B that I'm using. My first block is going to be reasonably dark, and I will go over it as necessary to make sure that at least all of them go in a form of gradation. This one is a little bit lighter, and the next one lighter still. If you find that you're doing this and this one is going too dark, just go back over the others until you end up with a really rich one at that end, and we're slowly going down, making each one lighter and lighter. The last one is going to be white paper, because we must always use our darkest darks and our lightest lights to give us the full range and get excitement in our work. Also, we can use that as a continuous strip of tone. So if I start off with the dark, and I'm letting my hand gently slide along and lifting the pressure so that I'm almost not touching the paper at all, but I continue the movement, and this is very important. And back again with pressure, and slide along and lift again and back again. Here we're getting what we call a loss line, or this area of tone is actually taking the full light if we've got a subject in full light. We can do the same sort of thing with line. Again, starting off with that heavy tonal mass, and then press and lift as you travel along, and give yourself an interesting line, again with some areas almost as a lost line. The tonal mass helps us to actually shape the pencil lead in the way we need it to turn into line drawing. I'll re-establish the tonal mass, and the more pressure I'm putting on, the wider the area of the pencil is going to be achieved. So I can get a line as wide as that quite easily. Now that's all right if I want to cover a large area, and it does it very neatly rather than having to go with the side of the pencil. I feel I have more control in this way. Now I'm going to start moving it and doing what I call constructive doodles, which is finding out how the pencil's going to work with me putting different pressures on at different times. Having this thick lead here means that I have on the other side got a very narrow point. So I can actually go to the two extremes, and I'm going to start doing something similar to wood grain on a table, and press and lift and press and lift, and I can get lines that are quite close together, and I'm still getting that on-off pressure and a bit of interest. But what I do if I'm doing a series and a lot of lines, I have to keep turning the pencil. And this is also while I'm drawing, I keep turning the pencil so that I'm not going to get a continuous thick line when I'm looking for the thin one. Now water is a good example again of this on-off pressure. And I travel in a horizontal way, putting pressure, lift, pressure, lift. This could be ripples at a distance, and the pressure is producing the reflections of the trees or anything above it on the bank. If I wanted wider ripples, like against boats at the quayside, I would travel along and travel back and even have them as quite small areas. But by now, of course, the pencil has got very thick and I'm producing that wide line that can give me that immediately. Do have fun with your lines and try the varied pressure also in different directions. I'm going to push and lift, and do a radiation from the top area and getting this lovely light area coming through there, all on the same level. Now these are constructive doodles, things you can do while you're having a telephone conversation or while you're having a cup of coffee and you just feel you'd like to try things out with your pencil. The one that goes like this reminds me very much of the ripples left in the sand on the beach when the tide goes out. But we're getting again that lovely light area going across. And talking about the beach and the tide, we can turn the pencil now to get the sharper point and start doing a shell shape. It's only a feeling of a shell, just to do a doodle, and straight up into a tonal mass, giving us that dark and light side, and then pressure again right against that dark side, so that we're getting quite a variety of the tones.